What is up guys, Murderman4 here, and today I'm going to be discussing what can only be described as a very unique episode of Doctor Who, in more ways than one. Starting with the obvious, Mr. Ring-a-Ding. Of course, Lux is not the first piece of media to bring a cartoon character into a live-action world, but it's a genre that's always a joy to explore, and this is no different. It's especially exciting to see Doctor Who be in a position to tackle it with proper, hand-drawn animations, with the charm simply oozing off the screen. It's incredibly effective, with Alan Cumming turning in a fantastic performance that's the perfect mix of charm and menace. I also love how he has his own catchy theme song, and there's a brilliant use of cartoon sound effects to really sell his presence, and the abundance of wonderfully silly faces is the cherry on top. If I have one complaint, I do kind of wish that he was genuinely a cartoon character come to life, rather than being possessed by an outside entity. The connection to the Pantheon works well enough, but it does kind of feel like unnecessary baggage at this point, and I do think there's a lot of potential in a cartoon character exploring a world beyond his own. It also means that Ring-a-Ding, or should I say Lux, drops the innocent facade basically right away, and while he's just as fun, it is a different kind of fun, and I was kind of hoping the bubbly personality would have a little more presence to contrast his malicious acts. It's ultimately not a huge deal, since I do still really like what we got, and Lux is one of the most entertaining villains that we've had in years, but I can't help feeling it could have been even better. Setting Lux aside, I also want to touch on the setting of 1952 Miami, which just has a nice flavor to it. I love the design of the picture house, but even more than the vibes, I thought the story did an excellent job of touching on the racism of the time. I'm glad that it's being acknowledged, even if it doesn't have a big impact on the story itself. And the little speech the Doctor gives about toppling worlds is a beautiful piece of writing. I'm also really pleased with how Belinda's relationship with the Doctor is developing. It's inevitable that she starts to fall in love with the adventuring, but I'm glad that she still retains her desire to get home and is initially reluctant to get involved. There was a part of me that was worried that RTD would just kind of sidestep that stuff, but it's a pretty consistent through line here and also forms a large part of Belinda's growing trust in the Doctor. And I love the note the story ends on, with her saying that however scared they are of their predicament, they'll face their fears together. Also, how brilliant are their animated counterparts? It's such a short segment, and I can understand why it must be expensive, but I wish it lasted longer because what we do get is so good, with even their voice acting changing to match the animated style of the time. But the story develops from here into something far more meta, something that, as is referenced in dialogue, did in fact leak, and I did know about going in. And I gotta be honest, it was better than I expected. The Doctor breaks the fourth wall and exits the television screen to come face to face with fans of the show. This scene is actually a lot of fun, and I think it's absolutely hilarious that the fans' favorite episode isn't a 15th Doctor story, to which he responds with mock offense. However, while I did enjoy this, it went on for way too long. This would have been an incredible 30-second gag, but I think it goes on for almost 5 minutes, and frankly, it kills the pacing stone dead. I'm sure it was a budget thing, but I can't help wishing that most of this runtime had instead gone to more Ring-a-Ding, who, as I'm sure you can tell, was the highlight of the episode for me. Also, I should note that I am relieved that it's established the Doctor is real, rather than being fictional in universe, though I do wish it was the Doctor that figured it out rather than the fans telling him. That being said, I like the ambiguity of the fans still being around for the end credits, and that was perfectly timed. So, yeah, kind of mixed feelings about it. I like the scene itself, not sure it really works in the episode as a whole, though. As we approach the story's conclusion, the Doctor and Belinda escape, and the Doctor uses some regeneration, or bigeneration, energy to heal an injury. I don't like this. It's way too casual a use for my liking, though the dialogue implies it's a single-use thing. Either way, I think it brings up way too many questions if the Doctor can just access regeneration energy at any time. What does work better for me is Lux using the regeneration energy to turn himself real, so he can escape to the outside world. And what a disturbing image that is. Absolutely terrifying to look at. But then, Lux is exposed to sunlight, becoming overwhelmed by the light of the universe, and basically becoming enlightened. It's a fitting ending, although I don't know what it is, because on paper, I think this is brilliant. But as it plays out, I just don't feel it as strongly as I want to. I think it might be because the story, ironically, lacks depth. It's a really entertaining time, but I think RTD could have gone a lot further in exploring the concept, and I really do think the 5-ish minutes spent on the metagag was maybe one element too many, and it would have been better off spending more time on what was already there. But at the end of the day, an entertaining time is the most important thing, and credit where it's due, I was looking forward to rewatching this as soon as the credits rolled. At the very least, I'll be marking it higher than the in-universe fans did, with a very firm 8 out of 10. Well, believe it or not, we're a quarter of the way through this season. 8 episodes go by quick, don't they? And I'm having a lot of fun. I really wish we got more episodes like these last year, but better late than never. But what did you think of Lux? Was I too harsh? Not harsh enough? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And with that, Murgoman4 over and out, and I'll see you all next week with my review of The Well.